I totally agree with ERICA KIRK that you cannot reach a generation if you look like one and you act like one. Be different, step out, be brave, be strong. But again, don't try to identify with a generation by simply, like, I see some young men carrying their hair all kind of away, any kind of way, and I'm like, hey sweetie, do you want to be different from them, right? He's like, yeah, but I kind of want to look like them in order to connect with them. And I'm like, no, I think you just got to be relevant. Talk like stuff, for example, if young men are dealing with pornography, talk about that. If they're dealing with drug addiction, talk about that to them. If they're dealing with womanizing, sleeping around, talk about that. Be relevant. Address that issue with them. You don't have to look like them to reach them. You know what I mean? So listen to the rest of what ERICA KIRK has to say.
Yes, my husband would say saving Western civilization. That's true on both fronts. But deeper than that, this is about your soul. Because the fight for freedom starts within. Inside of each and every one of you. So again, please stand firm against the wickedness of the devil and the schemes of man. Be alert because his tactics are so clever. What he'll do is he will find one thing. He will find fear, he'll find disappointment, he will find one thing, and he will wedge it in between you and the Lord, and he will make it grow. He will make it grow so much that you lose sight. It becomes this, almost like an eclipse, where the truth is hidden behind it. And yes, the light's still there, but you can't see it anymore. That's the enemy's tactic. And the bottom line is that the enemy doesn't need to change your theology. He just needs to change your vision. And if he can get in your head and blur your vision and distort your vision, he'll do it. He'll do whatever he can. But what the enemy forgets, though, is that the presence of a shadow is proof that there is light. He forgets that. And Charlie's murder might seem like we're standing in a shadow, as if death was the victory meant for the enemy, but looking around in this arena, you are proof that this light of truth burns so brightly. He doesn't need to destroy a nation overnight. He just needs to convince people that truth no longer matters. And the enemy thrives when Christians don't speak up, when citizens don't vote, when students don't think for themselves. But in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11, it says, have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. That's what it means to live as salt and light. To bring flavor to a world gone bland in clarity, to a world that lost its way and it's lost in confusion, because Christians are called to go into the public space to correct error with truth, and that's what my husband did. When he would sit there with his microphone, I got to watch this evolve over the years. At first, he would hold the microphone the whole time. He would listen. Then as years went on, he would put the microphone down, and he wasn't listening, he was hearing. He was absorbing what the students were saying and what they were asking. He was engaging. He was calm. He wasn't combative. He never insulted. He just wanted you to think. Again, like I said, he never told you what to say. He just wanted to challenge you so that what your convictions were, you actually understood why you had them, rather than they being talking points because your professor told you so or your friend told you so. He wanted the best of you because he demanded the best of himself. And Charlie would say this all the time: your rights don't come from the government, they come from God. And he knew what every founding father knew, and almost every university has forgotten that you cannot have freedom without virtue, and you cannot have virtue without God.